Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're at in the world. Thank you always for being a part of our community. And I want to introduce you guys, I believe, is our ultimate strategy for the TFU 3.0 system. If you want to receive high winning percentages of your trades, I encourage you to try this strategy out. All the other strategies I've given you are definitely they win. But to say the word high winning percentage, I've not been able to say that on all of those strategies. I actually I actually can say that with this particular strategy. And I believe this is going to be the primary strategy that most members use once they really understand how to use it. It's not much different than what you have been doing. We still use our arrows, our big arrows and our little arrows. But there has been a major tweak in um, this strategy to help you have clean, safe, non-erratic, non-emotional entries. All right. I couldn't say that again if I wanted to, so I won't. So let me talk about how this works. The first thing you need to set up is your 1 hour window. As you guys can see, I am doing this demonstration on cryptocurrency. I've been actually trading this on the demo, but I did not want to record it on the demo because sometimes the demo account is not as accurate as the live market. So I'm just going to show you exactly what took place with cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is one of the most craziest pairs in the market because it is erratic. And this strategy respond to that erraticness like a charm. So what it tells me that the forex pairs or the US 30 pairs or gold should definitely respond equally as well. So again, in the 1 hour window, you want to set up your settings. So let's go there. We're going to go to the first setting. It is actually is only one window. I have the slow long, which is the big arrow, but as you notice, I do not have it. So I actually made that false. I don't want to see the big arrow in the 1 hour window. It is not needed with this strategy. The only settings that we want in the 1 hour window is your fast short. Small arrow, you can make it a little bit bigger because it's the only arrow that you're going to be using. So I'll put a 2 on it so I can see that arrow a little bit better. And that is the only thing you need in the 1 hour window. Why? The 1 hour window arrows of fast short is going to be your direction of the trades that you take in the smaller time frame. So again, the only setting that you need in the 1 hour window is your fast short. You can make it a little bit bigger because it's the only arrow. I don't want anything else on here. Okay, you don't need anything else. You can remove. I remove the market open lines. I remove everything. I don't care. I don't even want it to. I don't even need to see the fib lines. I don't need to see any of this stuff because all I care about is this arrow. So if you want to keep this thing as clean as possible, you can remove everything. But if it doesn't bother you, I may keep the high and low of the day. That's about it. So it looks just like this. Guys, I got the high and low of the day and I have my direction arrows. That's all that I have in the 1 hour window. All right. So let's go to the next one. The next time frame is the 15-minute window. So unlike the 1, unlike the 5, if you want clean, non-erratic, non-emotional entries, do this from the 15-minute window. Can it be done in the 5? Yes, but I will not teach you how to do this in the 5. I'm going to teach you how to do this in the 15-minute window so that you can take nice, smooth, clean entries. Okay, so the settings for the 15-minute window will be as follows. The big arrow will not be slow long. Your big arrow in the 15-minute window is fast long. I have the thickness of that arrow on 4, and that is my big arrow. That is my arrow that I use to enter the trade. Then my small arrows will be fast, short, and that settings is thickness is 1. All right. From there, you guys can have anything else you want to have on there. The market open lines, the fibs, and all that good stuff. Do you need it? No. But could you have it there? Yes. You can be just as clean here as you are there. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that because I don't use it for anything unless, I have that. I like the market open because I like to know when sessions are started. So you don't have to do this. So I'm just showing you can if you want a really clean screen, you can remove a lot of extra stuff that we actually are not using. All right, so now that we have it set up, how do you trade this strategy? So let's start from the opening of the day. As you guys can see, this dotted line here is the beginning of the, no, right here. This is the beginning of a day here, and this is the end of the day. So is that right? Yes. This is the beginning of a day. This is the end of the day. So yesterday, this was Saturday. We're going into Sunday now. So I'm going to look at Saturday's trade on the 23rd. So let me scroll back to the 23rd. First, you find in the 1 hour window, you need to find your directional arrow in the 1 hour window. You can catch this once you, the other settings that I have on the 1 hour window, as you guys can see, I want to be alert here, and I want it to notify me not when it closed. I want it to notify me when it flashed. The difference between it close and the flash is the smaller time frame will give you that entry while the 1 hour window is still moving. You don't want to wait for the 1 hour window arrow to close. If the 15-minute window big arrow is giving you an entry, take the trade. So you want to be notified, put on your notification on true. What that's telling you is that you're going to use the candle that the arrow popped on to notify you that is there. So it's not going to notify you once it's done. It wants to notify it once it appears. So make that true, and then put your safe zone up and down notification on, and make sure your notifications to receive those messages through your MT4 is turned on as well. Real quick, how to do that is you go to Tools, go to Options, you turn on your notification here, and you have to go to your MT4 settings on your phone, go to Messages or Chat Messages. If you have an iPhone, it's going to give you a MetaQuote ID number. Take that MetaQuote ID number, put it into this box, click Test, and OK. It's going to send you a test text on your phone, and now you're ready to go to receive notifications. Real simple. So back to the strategy, guys. So I got a notification right here at 2 o'clock, the 2 o'clock candle, that a directional arrow is forming in the 1 hour window. So I now have to go to the 23rd and go to 2 o'clock. Okay, so that's the beginning of the day, and here you go right there. Actually, at 1:45, I start getting this arrow. All right. Once this arrow closes, even though this arrow may still be moving, I'm going to take this trade. All right. I enter this trade, and I'm in. All right. It closed because I take the trade in the 15-minute window on the close of the big arrow, but I don't have to wait for it to close in the hour. I got my entry. I set a 30 pip stop loss. All right, 30 pip stop loss is my standard stop loss. This is Bitcoin, so I might do a 200 or 2,500 stop loss. However you want to look at that. Bitcoin is a little bit different, so that would be my stop loss there. All right. My take profit is always, I do a really big take profit. Don't expect it to hit that take profit, but just in case the market does something real crazy and shoot down really fast, I always do a really big take profit. If I was trading Forex or gold or something like that, I would do like a 70, 80, 100 pip take profit. Not expecting it to go there, but I will set it there. Because if I get 100 pips on anything, I'm gone. All right. So I enter the trade. I want to teach you something that I've been noticing with the market. All right. When you get your very first, there's two ways that you guys can do this, and either way is fine. I'll tell you what I'll do, but I'll tell you what you can do. You can enter on the big arrow. You can, the safe way, I'm going to tell you the safe way. You can enter on the big arrow, and the very first arrow that you get, fast short, you can exit it, that trade. All right, so if you entered here and you exit there, you would exit in profit. Then you have your re-entry right here. And as you guys can see, you know, it pushed down again, gave you some more profit, and you got there. So the market wasn't really moving, but you still was able to get profit. All right, and that's somewhere in these two candles here, this candle here and a little bit of that. And you got a fast short exit, and you would exit that trade. That's option number one. Enter on the big arrow, exit on the small. Option number two is that I've noticed that the market does something. You may not be familiar with this style, but some of you who know trading, is called a teacup. And I have been watching that my arrows are actually forming those teacups. So whenever I get this is how I'm doing it. I get a direction arrow flash. I would drop to the 15-minute window. I wait for my big arrow to close. I enter that trade. I set my stop loss. I set a very big take profit. And now I tell myself, I am not getting out of this trade unless I have another one. I have a big arrow blue opposite direction telling me to get out, or I get my teacup forming and I exit on the fast short arrow after the teacup forms. Now I know I just said a lot, so I'm gonna break that down. Here's what I mean when I say teacup. Teacup is you get your big arrow to close, you enter. Then it doesn't even go 30 pips or 40 pips in profit. It may go 10, 15 pip profit and you get a fast short arrow to exit. That's forming your, teacup. So it's, it's going down, then it's looping up. That's kind of forming that teacup. So you got that. Then you get your fast short. I will not exit out of this trade. This is not an exit for me because that is telling me that a teacup is possibly forming. Big arrow, and it won't even go 20 pips and you already get an exit arrow. That is a form of teacup. That only happens, guys, off of your directional arrow. If your directional arrow has already went, and then you don't try to look for a teacup. Only look for the teacup off of your directional arrow. All right. So again, I exit this. I don't exit here. I actually take a second position here. So down, looped up. I wish I had a way to draw on here. I had something. I don't even know where it's at anymore. It down. If you guys can see it, it went down. This is the beginning of that cup looping up, and then it came back up here, and from here my drawdown was little to nothing, and it gave me a second entry. So whenever you see this 1, 2, 3, there's going to be a drop if it comes off of this directional arrow. If you want to be safe, enter, exit, enter. If you want to take two positions, you would enter, don't exit, enter again. And now after you get this teacup forming, you actually need to exit the very next fast short arrow. No matter how long or short that teacup is, you must exit the third fast short arrow. So you will have big arrow, little arrow, re-entry arrow, which completes your teacup. Then you must exit the third fast short arrow. This can be a long move, it can be a short move, but whatever it is, you must exit. You exit those two trades. You are going to exit them always. You're going to exit them always in profit. Whenever you get a teacup, whenever you get this 1, 2, 3, whether you get in, get out, get back in, it's going to always take you out in profit. How much profit? I cannot tell you that. But it's always going to exit in profit. Sometimes it's really big, sometimes it's short. All right, so that would have been two positions, and you would exit both of these positions right here in profit. If you wanted to take a re-entry, you can always re-enter these trades if you want to. But for me, after I get a teacup, I rarely exit. I rarely get back in that trade. After a 1, 2, 3 teacup, I don't get back in that trade unless I get a new big arrow to exit. You guys are gonna have to watch this video more. So let's move forward. Look what happened. I got my exit right here. This could have been a re-entry for some more pips. I would not have taken that trade just because I don't take it after I get that 1, 2, 3 drop. I'm done. I'm now waiting for a brand new setup. All right. So I got my, and I'm still bearish. All right. So now this candle is on 1330. So we're over here. Where is 1330? We're here, 1300. Oh, look at here, guys. At 1300, I got a new directional arrow. A new directional arrow at 1300. So now at 1330, I now just entered this for a buy. I got a alert here. I got my big arrow. Now I enter this trade. Remember what I told you. You guys can take the safe route, enter, exit, then enter again. But what do you see? Now you see a bullish teacup forming. Up, do the loop, came down, and then it's doing the loop. So again, I told you, if I do not exit, once I get my directional arrow plus my big arrow entry in the 15-minute window, I do not exit the trade until I get another big arrow to tell me to get out of this trade. Because what am I looking for? I'm looking for this 1, 2, 3 formation, which is a teacup forming. I now got that, so that's position number 1, position number 2, and now that I have entered 2 positions, I must exit at the very next fast short arrow. Why? Because I always exit after I get my 1, 2, 3 or my teacup setup. I'm always exiting that trade. So now I'm in this trade right here on my big arrow entry, and I'm in on this trade right here. 2 positions. That's me not exiting when I got this arrow here. I didn't take the safe route. I said I'm looking for 2 positions to enter in. And guess what? We kept going. So let's just slide it over. We're still in this trade. There you go. I received a arrow here to exit the trade. So now this position and this position both must be exited on the very next fast short arrow after you get your teacup form. Guys, this is all telling me I'm still in this direction here, and now we're still in this trade. So now I would not enter this trade again until I get a new setup. All right, so let's keep going forward. My next entry came at 2300. So let's go and just look. I'm just going to scroll over a little bit. I won't take that buy there. Oh, there is another bearish arrow at 22.15. 22.15, we still bearish. So guess what? I would take that trade. All right, we enter this trade. I'm in. Uh-oh, there is a teacup forming, so I'm not going to exit. If you wanted the safe route, you would exit that trade and wait for uh, another bearish fast short arrow to exit. Up, and guess what happened, guys? Instead of getting a teacup, I got a big blue arrow to exit. So those who took the safe route didn't lose anything. Those who waited for the second entry and held that trade would have lost this particular trade. This is why I give you guys that it won't work every time, but it will work most of the time. So I have no feelings toward this loss right here because I just won 4 trades prior to it. And this loss, let me tell you this, the loss will always be really small. That's like, I don't even know, I don't even know what that is. Not very many pips at all when you talk about Bitcoin. So now what happens? Can I take this for a buy? No, because I'm still, at this time, this candle is on the next day. We're into the next day right here, and I'm a bearish. So I'm a bear. So I got to exit this trade and not take it for a buy because I'm a bear right here. So I'm looking for bearish. So now I have to wait. Oh, there we go. I got another entry, bearish, supporting my direction. I now enter back into this trade for a sale. And now I am back into my original setup. If you want to be safe, you will exit on the first fast short arrow. If you want to hold that trade and wait for a potential second entry because it's forming your 1, 2, 3 or teacup setup, you can do that as well. So let's see what happened. We're in the trade. We're in this trade. So far, one position. There's your first arrow. If you were taking the safe, you would have exited. Very shortly afterwards, guys, you got your second arrow. So what did that form? 1 up, teacup, 1, 2, 3. That would be my second position. If you held the first one, this would be a re-entry if you exited because you took the safe route. And now you're in this trade. You must, after you get this set up, guys, you must exit the very next fast short arrow. This is Bitcoin. There it is right there. So you entered here. Safe people entered here, exit here with 45 or 452 pips. Then you re-entered again here, and then you exit again with your second position. You exit with 974 pips. So between the two positions, about 1,300 pips. If you held this trade, you were in this trade here, and you exit your first trade, first position at 1,396 pips, and you would have exit your second position at 1,034 pips. At this point, you're not to enter this trade again unless you get a brand new setup. Or if you want to re-enter it, you can, but I wouldn't. So now let's just see what happens. We're going to keep scrolling. There is your actual exit. Game over. You now have to wait for a new setup anyway. We keep going. We're still bearish. So you always have to keep looking at your 1 hour window to make sure you're trading in the direction of your arrows in the 1 hour window. Now you keep scrolling. These are not your trades. These are not your trades because you can't take it. Oh, there it is again, guys. Do the same thing. Enter on the close because you're in that direction. You guys decide if you're going to take the safe route or you're going to hold that trade. But guess what? You still have not received any teacup. So you're just in one position in this trade. So you're in this trade it went down as much as 1,800 pips, and you're now at the current market right now. You wasn't exiting that trade until you got at least a big arrow telling you to get out, and you now would currently be at around 1,200 pips. So if you took the safe route, you did not lose any trades. If you took the aggressive route, you only lost one position for small pips, but you were able to capture bigger pips on those other pairs by holding both positions. Guys, if you do this all day on any pair, I'm talking US 30, SP 500, gold, all of the Forex pairs. So you do not have to say, well, I'm going to only trade gold, or I'm only going to trade US 30, or I'm only going to trade this. You guys can spread your wings now because it's going to give you the same results. It may not give you the same pips because each pair is different, but you're going to get the same results. That is high winning percentage trades. And once you enter this trade, don't worry about how many pips you're losing once you're in profit, because you should, for the most part, end all of your trades in profit if you follow the system. Guys, I do not hold that as a guarantee. I just hold that as a high probability that that's going to happen. I've been testing this for weeks, and I have just not seen anything to change my mind on what I'm telling you now. You guys can add any extras that you want, but do not change the foundation of how this works. So I will finish off with it in the next 2 minutes on how you guys should do this. One, you must set up your 1 hour settings. It is your fast, short arrows, not the slow, long. Fast, short is the only arrow you need in the 1 hour window. Make it whatever thickness you want. I have it on 2, and now I only trade in the direction of these arrows. Second thing you want to do is I would trade this in the 15-minute window. It has been the smoothest, cleanest time frame for this particular strategy, and it's been generating very good pip moves at the same time. So you're getting the best of both worlds. If you do this in the 5-minute window, you'll get good scalping pips, 25, 30 pips, here and there. Sometimes they will go longer. In the 15-minute window, you get smooth entry and you get potential bigger moves. Okay, will allow you to do 40, 50, 80, 100 pips at a time. This trade I will still be in. Why? Because I have not received anything from my entry to tell me to exit. Now at this point, I would not look for a teacup. Why? Because this has went more past my required number of pips. If it goes over 1,000 pips, I'm not waiting for a teacup. I'm going to exit that trade. If it's less than 1,000, this is because this is Bitcoin. If it's less than 1,000, I would stay in that trade because I know a teacup is forming, or a 1, 2, 3, however you want to say it. But if I get a fast short now, I would exit this trade. And then if it gives me a re-entry, I'll do it again to re-enter the trade. So guys, your 15-minute window, your setting is fast, long, not slow long, fast, long. Set it whatever size thickness you want. Make sure that you don't want your fast long. You want to wait for it to close. You don't want it on the opening. If you do want it on the open, you can get notified when it flashes. So you actually can get notified. Matter of fact, that actually would not be a bad idea to notify you when it flashes, so you can get prepared to take it when it closes. So yes, put that on true so it notifies you when it flashes. Make sure that is true. You get that on the flash. You wait, because then you can check your hour to make sure you trade in the right direction. And your second one should be on fast, short. But definitely do not set this one on notifying you at the flash. Matter of fact, if you want to put the notification on, you can, but you're going to get notified a lot because those arrows come a lot. I try not to because once I'm in the trade, I'm going to be monitoring it anyway. So I don't want to be notified on the flash. So guys, those are your settings. This is your strategy. Wait for this to give you a flash. Go to the 15-minute window, and you're waiting for your fast long arrow to notify you the direction. If you take your time with this strategy, I promise you that 2020 financially is going to be a different story for you. The key word is take your time. Do not jump to your live account on this before you've tested it with your demo. If you do, be okay with the results. I always recommend demo first before you go live. Past results do not guarantee future results. You can lose money in trading, guys, so be responsible. But test this out. This is the only way that I'm trading right now. All the other strategies that I've given you, they are good strategies, but they don't compare to the one I'm giving you right now. So you can choose. If everything has been working fine with you prior to looking at this strategy, don't rock your boat. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If you're winning like crazy with what you have, don't change it. I'm not telling you to use this strategy in place of the one that's winning for you. But if you have been having difficulties in comprehending a 1 minute and a 5 minute window because it's too fast and erratic, then consider this 15-minute, 1 hour. I'm calling it the super strategy because so far I have not lost in a day. I may have lost a trade, but I have not lost in a day by the time I'm done trading. All right. Trade during the volume time. If you get the signals in the 1 hour window and you still want to take those trades, if it's not moving, it could still be because you're in non-volume time, even though you got the direction. A lot of times the volume will come in the Asian session and won't kick in until the London. That's okay. But you got to look at, don't trade a lot of pairs. Pick about 2 to 3 pairs max. One thing I do is I will open up a pair, a screen, and I will put a number of pairs up in the 1 hour window, because whenever I get a 1 hour window signal, then I will go to that pair. So you can have up 10, 15, 20, 30 pairs if you want to in the 1 hour for a 1 hour window, and just wait for those notifications, then go to the 15-minute window and take those trades. Guys, there's a lot that you can do with this, but I'm telling you, 2020 is going to be totally different for you financially if you simply follow this strategy. Eliminate all your scaredness of jumping out of trades too early. Do not remove that fear. Follow the system. It will lead you to the pips that you're looking for. Thanks again for always looking at these training videos. This was a little bit longer than normal training videos, but I want it to be very detailed so you fully understand how to use this system. Guys, thank you again for being a part of our community, the TFU 3.0. Looking forward to seeing all the incredible stories of pips that you've gained from using this system. Take care.